Welcome back to Dimitri's Garage. I'm here with my buddy Sean and his E46 M3. Sean, can you tell us a little bit about this car, your plans, and what's currently in here?
Sure. This is a 95 OBD1, which is what I was looking for. It is currently turboed. It's got a cast manifold and a GT35R turbo stuck to it. 60-pound injectors.
So Sean, it sounds like this car is already pretty beefy. What's the power output today and how many PSI of boost are you running?
It put down about 470-ish.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and that was at 12 PSI.
12 PSI. Wow, that's very impressive. Now, this is a cast iron block. It's a 3-liter, and this is an S50, right?
Yep.
An S50. Okay, so tell me a little more about what you want to do with it for the future.
Make it a lot more dependable. Get rid of all the shortcuts that the previous owner did. Thanks, Richard.
We'll send you a copy of this video, Richard.
But yeah, it's going to be a pretty much tear down and rebuild the way I would have done it from the beginning. I should have bought the car pretty much stock. It's what I normally do. I'm not a, buy it. I'm a
Greenfield. You're a Greenfield guy. You want to start from zero.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I am myself too.
I like to build things the way that I see it in my head. I thought it'd be a good idea to get a jump start since I was going to turbo this in the end. But that opened a can of worms, so I'm gonna redo everything.
Things are never as fun as they initially seem.
No, they're not.
So let's talk a little about your end goals with the car. So how much power are we looking to make when we finish the project?
I will be happy with 600 to the wheels. 600 to the
wheels. And what do you think is going to take boost-wise, and what size turbo are we putting on this thing?
I'm gonna be stepping up to a Borg Warner S363 SXE, which is 63 millimeter. I think that and 18 to 20-ish pounds of boost, I think I should be close to my goal.
Now, are we going to be doing methanol, or is this car going to just kind of stay
93 and
93 and meth? Okay. Yeah. So progressive controller, I'm assuming, eventually go on here?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, I considered the 85, but...
stability, right?
That, I honestly, I don't drive the car that often,
That's what
nor plan to, and it's just going to sit in the tank.
I have the same issue. That's why I'm using the race gas in the Mustang. I can't leave, E85 for 2 months at a time in the tank. So let's talk a little about what we're going to do today. So we're going to do some brake work today. Let's talk through what the issue is, what we're going to accomplish, and what the goal is here.
Okay. Issue is that there are some leaks from the Allen bolts that hold the calipers, the front and rears together. Mm-hmm. So I figured, I went all the way to make these things pretty and put them on, got all new rotors, and come to find out I got a leak. So we're just gonna yank them off, tear them down. I'm gonna do a full rebuild. I've got a new rebuild kit for the AP fronts and the Porsche rears. Gonna have the calipers sent off the powder coat, and once everything's returned, back together, back on the car, and hopefully we'll be good to go at that point.
Excellent. Now the calipers already look beautiful, and what is you painted these yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Now the powder coat, what color are you going to go with? Is it going to be the same scheme?
Same exact everything.
Nice.
I just want the durability of the powder coat.
Excellent. So we're about to get started, and guys, if you're interested in following along with this build, we're going to keep working on this car. I know I've mentioned it before in prior videos, and it's probably not going to be every single video focused on this, but we will be working quite a bit on it over the coming weeks, and probably longer than that. I think it's going to take us more than a few weeks to...
It's going to be a while. I have full new interior to do. I've got the turbo kit to put on. Fuel system's going to need to be done. I got a full cooling system refresh, and today we're doing the brakes.
Excellent. So let's get started on that, guys. Sean's got a 17 mil, and he's going to get the lugs off. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Oh, 2-piece rotors too. That's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty monstrous. They don't look so fresh and minty, but I had Coleman Racing custom make these rotors for me to my specific standards. They did a great job. Real fast turnaround, great price. Like I said, I haven't used them yet. They've been sitting around, so you can kind of...
So what coils are these, Sean?
Stance GR.
Stance GR, pretty cool. Yeah, I was looking at these actually for, you know, what I might do with the 240. I still haven't really decided what I'm going to do.
I've got a 14 millimeter. I'm going to be taking off this braided line from the caliper. I got myself in a spot actually when I was putting this thing back together before we moved, and the hard line I had did not mate up well. I couldn't find one that I needed, so reached out to Katie Hydraulics. Big shout out to them. They did an excellent job. This looks much better than the line that came with the AP kit, and I was in and out of there with a custom line in 15 minutes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be using a 16 millimeter socket to take off the bolts that are holding the caliper. So now we're going to use a 13 mil.
Yes, this is a 13 mil for the brake line. These Porsche calipers, the brake lines came from Rally Road Racing.
Very cool.
To get the calipers off, I'm going to be using an H10 Allen socket.
Beautiful. All right, so now that the calipers are off the car, we're going to go ahead and start disassembling them so they're ready and prepped for powder coating. So Sean, what are you going to do now? You're going to remove that pin and the brake pads, right?
Yep.
So there's a cotter pin that pulls out with some needle nose pliers. So Sean's removing the banjo fitting now so that we can use compressed air to drive out the pistons. Hopefully we'll be able to get all of them without having to resort to prying them out. But we'll see. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It's very important to protect the bore of the pistons.
Wood is preferred, but neither of us are woodworkers, so this is what we had.
There you go. That's the air. We've got it set to about 140 psi right now. Hopefully that blasts some stuff out. So basically what Sean's doing is he's going to pressurize and cause the pistons to come out in theory. Well, at least one of them did. I would hold it in the bore if you can and use it to pressurize the others if it's still remotely staying in the bore. That's actually why I think a thicker piece, like a piece of wood, would have been better, because we could get them to stay in the bore. Maybe we can get a different cut of cardboard or something. Oh wait, I might have a piece of wood. Let me look. I might have an idea. Hold on. So hopefully they all come out. Hopefully this method works, but this is better than mechanically trying to pry them out with a screwdriver. At least one side came out. Yep. So guys, see the air pressure makes them come out. Now we need to kind of probably put it down a little in, and then maybe get the other side to pop out a little, and then we should be able to, you know, pull them out. All right, so what we're going to try is we're going to try plugging the other hole that we've been blowing into, because it's building too much pressure on that one side. We're going to just use our finger to plug it. We're going to pop off with, what is that, a 10 or 11? It's a 10. I think you need an 11. Yep, and we're going to try blowing in that hole, and hopefully with the other hole plugged with our finger, the pistons will go now the other way, and we'll have all of them out enough to pry mechanically with a screwdriver without mangling them.
Fighting each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably stick the piece of cardboard in there, blow it real hard, and maybe even screw that banjo bolt in a little bit. Yeah, and I'd blow through the main one, and just whatever pops out, pops out. The rest are already very far out, so they'll be easy to pull out. There you go. All right, 2 of the pistons are completely popped out. The other 2 are most of the way out. And now all we have to do is just keep prying the 2 that are most of the way out with like a little screwdriver. They should be very close. It should just be a matter of a couple of minutes. Yeah, so what Sean's doing now is he's trying to rip the seal because we're replacing them since this thing's getting powder coated. And the seal's kind of making the pistons harder to move by hand. So once the seal is ripped, it should come out real easy. Yep. Yeah, it's that damn seal. Out here. All right, so now that all the pistons are out, we're going to be very careful with them. We're going to start removing the rest of the banjo fittings and the crossover tube. So for that, we're using some 10 and 11 millimeter wrenches, and basically Sean's just going to go around the perimeter and remove all the fittings. And this basically, I've got a little Ziploc for that. Yeah, so now that's the crossover line that Sean's replacing. And what that does is that is what carries the brake fluid from one side of the caliper to the other. So guys, here's the big caliper from the front, and this one's a little bit different. It's a two-piece design, and we're going to show you how to pop these out and how to take the thing apart so that you can get yours powder coated or just rebuilt, whatever you're doing. We found that it's best to do this in two steps. First, we're going to blow one side out, then we're going to blow the other side out. Because they're two-piece, it seems like that's actually pretty easy to do. Yeah. I was like trying not to breathe that stuff. So now that we got that side popped out, what the next step is to pop off the banjo here with what, an 11? And then he's just gonna spray in that banjo with a piece of wood back in, and as long as you put enough padding from the cardboard behind it, both the sides should pop out. Or at least pop out enough that your hands can grab them. So yeah, just pack it up with all the cardboard. Yep, take some of the cardboard out. Yep, perfect. There we go. So Sean's removing the last of the fittings. Then we will remove that hard line that connects the two halves, and then we'll split the two halves. So for this, you're using a 10 millimeter again. No, I think that's actually an 11. So this thing we accidentally stripped. We're going to try to weld a socket onto it real quick. Just a quick little tack. All right, let's give that a shot. The weld is breaking.
What?
Yeah. It's like the underlying metal's like really weak. All right, guys, so we tried welding, and the result was that we broke even the sockets. So we're gonna take it to a machine shop. Sean's gonna do that in the next couple of days, and then a few days later, we're gonna hopefully have new hardware, and these will be powder coated, and we'll throw them back on the M3 and start trucking on some other projects. Right, Sean?
Sure.
That's right. All right, so for now, we're gonna close out, and thanks for watching the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Really appreciate it, guys.